Doctor Strange, in Avengers: Infinity War, claims to have analyzed over 14 million futures but reveals only one scenario where victory is possible. This statement, though seemingly straightforward, is surrounded by mystery, as Strange never details what he saw or why he chose that specific future. This narrative gap leaves room for theories that he might have seen more than one victorious path but opted for a particularly difficult scenario with significant losses to shape the universe's future into a more stable state in the long term. Strange, since Doctor Strange, 2016, demonstrates a unique understanding of cosmic and temporal forces. He knows that immediate actions can have disastrous long-term consequences, especially in a reality as complex as the multiverse. By handing over the Time Stone to Thanos, Strange commits to an act that seems contradictory, sacrificing momentary victory to ensure the final outcome. According to this theory, the choice of the most painful scenario reflects his intent to align the timeline with a future where not only Thanos is defeated but other multiversal threats can also be prevented. If Doctor Strange saw more than one future where Thanos was defeated, why did he choose a scenario with such devastating losses? The theory suggests that other futures might have resulted in short-term victories but would have been unsustainable or dangerous in the long run. Strange might have considered alternatives where Tony Stark survived or where Natasha Romanoff didn't need to sacrifice herself. However, in those scenarios, consequences like instabilities in the multiverse, the rise of Thanos variants, or even the emergence of more dangerous villains like Kang or Doctor Doom could put all of reality at risk. For example, the absence of Natasha's sacrifice might have made it impossible to return the Infinity Stones to their rightful places in time, generating uncontrollable temporal ramifications. Similarly, a future where Tony Stark didn't die could negatively impact the Avengers' evolution, leaving the team overly dependent on his leadership and technology. Strange might have understood that certain sacrifices, though tragic, were essential to allow the world to progress and for new leaders to emerge, like Sam Wilson, Peter Parker, and Carol Danvers. This theory gains even more weight by connecting Strange's choices to future threats in the MCU. The victory over Thanos, as it was orchestrated, ensured the cohesion of the main timeline, something Strange might have considered essential to avoid multiversal problems. In Loki, we learn that small divergences can cause multiverse catastrophes, leading to the rise of variants like Kang the Conqueror. Aware of this risk, Strange may have chosen the scenario that prevented the immediate emergence of chaotic parallel realities. Moreover, Strange could have looked further ahead, identifying events such as the Secret Wars or the return of cosmic threats. In this context, his decision to allow the sacrifice of central figures like Stark and Romanoff had a larger purpose: to create a future where humanity, traumatized and strengthened by its losses, would be better prepared to face these challenges. This reinforces the idea that he wasn't just solving the immediate problem of Thanos but laying the groundwork for the multiverse's survival. If Doctor Strange deliberately chose the most painful scenario, it raises profound ethical and emotional questions. Did he act as a cold strategist, prioritizing the greater good above any personal or moral considerations? Or did he believe that the sacrifices, as painful as they were, would bring growth and resilience to those who survived? His decision not to share the details of what he saw with the other Avengers is also significant. He bore the weight of that choice alone, perhaps believing that no one else could comprehend or accept the complexity of what was at stake. At the same time, this approach makes him vulnerable to flaws. As a human, Strange could have interpreted the futures in a limited way, overlooking possibilities that others, with different perspectives, might have seen. His self-sufficiency, a recurring trait of his personality, might have led him to dismiss more creative or less traumatic alternatives. This adds a tragic layer to the character, who carries the guilt of choices that might not have been as inevitable as he believed. Doctor Strange may have glimpsed the threat of Kang the Conqueror while analyzing the 14 million futures in Infinity War. Although Loki later introduces Kang as a central villain, it is possible that Strange foresaw the risks of temporal fragmentation that could lead to the rise of variants like him. As the multiverse's guardian, Strange would have understood that defeating Thanos was just the first step in stabilizing the universe and preventing a future where Kang could consolidate his dominance. His decision to return the Infinity Stones at the end of Endgame may have been a deliberate precaution to avoid the emergence of unstable timelines that Kang could exploit. Furthermore, Strange may have chosen the scenario that prepared the remaining heroes to resist a multiversal threat. The sacrifice of central figures like Tony Stark and Natasha Romanoff, as tragic as it was, might have been essential to strengthen the Avengers' unity and resilience against future cosmic challenges. Strange's actions in Infinity War and Endgame have implications that go beyond Thanos' defeat, shaping the MCU's future. Tony Stark's sacrifice leaves room for new heroes and leaders to emerge, such as Peter Parker, Sam Wilson, and Shuri. Strange may have realized that renewal was necessary and that Stark's absence would create a void, encouraging others to step up. Additionally, Strange may have foreseen events such as the Secret Wars or the arrival of figures like Doctor Doom and Galactus. His choices seem aligned with the idea of preparing the multiverse for an era of even greater challenges. The painful losses and collective traumas caused by Thanos' events may have been essential to unite humanity and encourage the development of technologies and global alliances that will be crucial in the MCU's next phases. Doctor Strange emerges as a complex character whose role transcends that of a mere hero. His choices in Infinity War and Endgame position him as an ambiguous figure, capable of sacrificing allies and accepting morally difficult decisions for the greater good. This sets him apart from the idealistic vision of leaders like Steve Rogers, placing him in a category closer to cold strategists like Nick Fury. This ambiguity raises philosophical questions. Is Strange a hero or a manipulator? Does he act according to a higher ethics, or is he simply fulfilling a cosmic role? By bearing alone the weight of the decisions that shaped the universe's fate, Strange demonstrates a pragmatism that isolates him emotionally but also defines him as a central piece in maintaining the multiverse's balance. His willingness to take responsibility for others' suffering makes him a tragic figure whose actions are essential but no less painful. While the theory is fascinating, it's important to remember that the scripts for Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame do not confirm that Doctor Strange deliberately chose the most painful scenario or that he foresaw beyond the conflict with Thanos. His phrase, "There's only one scenario in which we win," can be interpreted literally, suggesting there was truly no other option. However, the absence of detailed explanations about what he saw is what makes this theory possible and widely debated among fans. Strange might have simply prioritized the guaranteed victory without considering that this path would bring more difficult consequences than he anticipated. Still, his experience as the multiverse's guardian and the complexity of his choices in later films, such as Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, leave the door open to speculation that he was operating on a scale far beyond what other characters understood. This theory, even if unconfirmed, serves to reinforce the character's depth and the narrative complexity of the MCU, inviting fans to explore the ramifications of each decision in such a vast and interconnected universe. So, what do you think of this theory about Doctor Strange? Did he really know more than he let on, shaping the MCU's future since Infinity War? Share your opinion with us in the comments. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any theories or analyses like this one. And, of course, check out the video appearing here on the end screen. In it, we explore another intriguing MCU theory that you can't miss. See you next time.